Yeah.
So you've picked up pickleball since, yeah?
Well, what happened was CBS had this. They had this celebrity pickleball tournament, and somebody said, "Would you ever play?" And I said, "Sure, I'll play." And then I didn't make the cut. You know, they had much. They had much bigger celebrities. And then the head of the specials there called me like the night before, and he goes, "You know, I was just looking at the list, and I see you're not on the list." And I said, "Oh, I'm not." And he goes, "No." And he says, "I just don't know how that happened." I said, "All right, who
fell out? Who fell out?
Who fell out?"
Right.
And he said, and it was silent, and I went, "Look, just don't mess with me. Just it's okay." And he goes, "Well, do you want to play?" And I went, "Yeah, I'll play." So I turn up, and I got like the star treatment because I got the trailer that had been arranged for a very big star. And so I turn up, I'm like, "Wow, this is how the other half live." And anyway, I won't tell you who the celebrity was, but anyway.
Oh, come on, you gotta tell us.
So,
it was Tom Selleck. You can tell us.
They are really finicky. Like, man, they have some real needs. But anyway, it was so much fun, and I was teamed up with Dirk Bentley, and I'd never played before. I played tennis when I was a kid, but I never played pickleball. And then I think he was like, "Oh man, I got dumped with this guy," you know.
Right.
And then we went out there, and then I was slowly starting to get it, you know. And then we ended up against Sugar Ray Leonard and Emma Watson, and she'd had a coach for like 4 months. And Sugar Ray Leonard's like super competitive.
Sure.
Right.
And anyway, we really were struggling against them. And they had really stacked the bracket on one side because they wanted Will Ferrell and Tig Notaro to get through to the final. So we had a real battle back and forth. Anyway, we ended up beating them, thank God. And we got all the way through to the final. We ended up against Will and Tig. And I thought that at one point they were yelling out my name, Phil, 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 Phil. But of course it was Will, 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 Will. I was not maybe necessarily as popular a winner as Will might have been, but anyway, we won. We got this ridiculous-looking trophy.
That's amazing.
You got bit by the bug. You love it.
Oh, love it. And I actually just poured a quart. We have a house out in Indio, and I was like, you know what? We got enough room here. Let's pour a bit of concrete, and we'll make a pickleball court.
Did you tell your neighbors?
Yes.
Yeah, you got to tell your neighbors.
The neighbors now are taking lessons when we're not at the house, and they're using the court.
Okay, great.
Oh, that's a good way. Yeah, that's a good way to make friends with the neighbors.